Hanımlar ve canımlar, yarışlarımıza devam edirik. Fərdi gimnastların güzlərlə final yarışlarını izləyəcəyik.
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with clubs final of individual gymnasts. Please welcome the finalists.
Here are the contenders for the club's title.
Germany.
Why not start with the world champion, Daria Varfolomeev of Germany.
Azerbaijan.
Zora Agamirova of Azerbaijan, the Islamic Solidarity Games champion. Victoria Onoprienko of Ukraine, club's finalist at the World Championships. Italy's Alexandra Agurgia-Kalezi, Mediterranean Games all-around champion. Sofia Raffaelli of Italy, bronze medalist at the World Championships. Ekaterina Vodinieva of Slovenia, World Games bronze medalist. Bulgaria's Boriana Kalin, who already is the all-around champion from here. And Panayota Litra of Greece, who won the club's bronze medal in Athens last year, to announce her arrival on the international stage. What a great final this is poised to be. The nations of these European Championships, their flags are represented. Many did not make it through to the finals, but they've all played their part in entertaining us over the course of the last week. The finalists in the clubs competition at the European Championships, and we begin with the top qualifier and the reigning champion of the world, Daria Varfolomeev of Germany. And she was even better in the all-around final than in the qualification process, because one thing we know about Daria Varfolomeev, give her a clubs final and she'll turn up and go for it. A proven performer when there's something at stake. But what of the third strongest qualifier, Zora Agamirova? She goes right after her. And then later on we have the second best in qualification, Boriana Kalin. You're looking at the National Gymnastics Arena in Baku, Azerbaijan, and the last day of competition at these championships. The home crowd have already seen one of their gymnasts get an individual medal at the European Championships after the all-around bronze medal was won by their group. That was last night, late last night. The champion of the world with the clubs is Daria Varfolomeev of Germany. She now looks to add a European crown to her collection. She was the best in qualification and even better in yesterday's all-around final. Now, if anyone has got some marks that they can sacrifice in a club's routine, it's Daria Varfolomeev, the world champion. The drop may not be enormously consequential. It was an out of nowhere drop, not at the end of a big dynamic element with rotation.
Bizim her zaman desteği olduğumuz Zöhre yeniden çıkacak.
That's all.
Artık Avrupa Çempiyonat'ta Zöhre'nin bir medalı var. Bir gümüş medalı artık kazanıp ve medal sayını artırabilir. Azerbaycan komandanısının 4 medalı var. Ve benim sualım var ki azerkeşlerimizin gücü kalıp aziz dostlar, yumruk için birleşme zamanıdır. Çok önemli final çıkışına başlayacak bir gün sonra.
One of the unfortunate things from an artistry
Bizim desteğimiz iyi dinlerisi olmalıdır. Çünkü Zöhre bizi eşidir.
Moments of the routine, and of course that could well impact upon the artistry score.
There's a tempo change right there, and it's the place where the routine really kind of takes flight. And to lose a club there,
unutmayın ki yorgunluk çıkacak ama medal tarihte kalır. Ona göre göğüşümüzü seferber etmeye lazımdır.
But that is incredibly agile.
Still exceptional work with her
Avrupa Şampiyonası'nın son final günü. Bugün son medallar sahibi tapacak ve komandamız medal sayını artırabilir. Bütün bayraklar dalgalanmalıdır.
The ring position, throwing her head back.
Doğma arenamızda en ucadan seslenen seda tabii ki Azerbaycan sedasıdır.
From an artistry standpoint, it's just a lot of fun.
Desteğimiz devam ettirir dostlar. Kıyta Çempiyonatı bütün Avrupa'da izlenilir. Bütün Avrupa Azerbaycan'ın gücünü görür. Gimnastlarımıza desteğimizi izleyin.
For Daria Varfolomeev, 31.35.
Yine desteğiniz karşısında kalçaya davet olun.
Qualification, and it is easy to see where
Zöhre Aramirova, Azerbaycan!
It's nonetheless still a very good score. Azerbaijan's Zora Agamirova competing with the clubs. Once a while ago she was a freestyler, now she is a European Championship medalist. Azerbaijan,
Zöhre Aramirova, Azerbaijan!
On the day that she became a European Championship medalist in front of her fans.
she did a nice job of maintaining her concentration throughout. And that can't have been easy considering the accomplishment that she has just had. On one of her first big throws, though not this one, she had to stop and stand in place because of a trajectory error and just kind of let the club drop into her hand. It's a nice way of minimizing the error, but it is probably going to affect her
ve her birimizin desteği gimnastlarımıza âlâ ve güç verir.
Reaction as she left the carpet. This was the apparatus where in the qualification, Ollie, you thought it was one of her career performances, and it was. It was brilliant.
Her qualification score was 31.05, the third best. In the all-around, 31.65.
That was the place where it's a subtle thing, like so many of these deductions that we talk about. But we are also playing a game that comes down to tenths and sometimes even hundredths of marks.
.75 Zora Agamilova's score. Second place at the moment.
Finalist from Ukraine, Victoria Onoprienko.
To a gymnast who competed in the club's final at the last World Championships, Ukraine's Victoria Onoprienko, having already taken a European title today with the hoop. For a very, very long time, her best ever international result was fourth with the clubs in Baku in 2019 in World Cup competition. Since then, she has just started to win and win and win, and the crowning glory, today's European hoop title. This, another tremendous Victoria Onoprienko performance.
Every time you see her, she is a little better, a little sharper. And she really mastered this routine. It corresponds so perfectly. The music and the movement and the difficulty is baked in seamlessly. Steady fouette pivots. If you're a judge, you might question whether she is hopping around a little bit on her bottom foot, and if she is, you could count each of those fouettes not as a series, but rather as single elements, and that could could affect her difficulty. Of course, it is at the judge's discretion.
But one might suggest she hasn't given the judges too many areas to focus upon in terms of their execution deductions. The rest of this display, I mean, her remarkable agility bending into that position has always been one of her great strengths.
Absolutely right. And that's important to mention because, yes, there is potentially with the fouettes a small amount to take, but not a great amount for anything else.
She's gone into the gold medal position with 31.65. Victoria Onoprienko has moved beyond the reigning world champion. Remarkable. Italy's Alexandra Aggiurgiu-Calesi, who has enjoyed a somewhat triumphant return, shall we say, to these championships. Whatever happens today, Alexandra Aggiurgiu-Calesi is a legacy creator for Italian gymnastics. She won the first individual world championship medal for 27 years in 2018. Then she became the first to win an all-around and apparatus medal in World Cup competition. Quite simply, those that came after looked at her and said, we will follow her.
And she is a gymnast who is still evolving. She's still quite young. She's extraordinarily experienced. She has been to world championships. She's won world medals. She's been to the Olympic Games. And yet she feels, and she's really showed us this week, that she still has more to give. Conceptually, her routines are works of art. And she's got some of the most spectacular inventiveness of any gymnast that we've seen this week. And she showed in qualification what happens when this routine goes well.
And indeed in the all-around final, where she produced an even stronger performance. On this occasion, 26.4 for Alexandra Aggiurgiu-Calesi. She is in fourth place at the halfway mark.
Please welcome Sofia Raffaele.
26.4 At the moment, it is Victoria Onoprienko who leads, ahead of Daria Varfolomeev and Zora Agamirova. We now have Sofia Raffaeli. Now, which routine do we see? The one that scored 30.75 in qualification, the fourth best, or the one that scored 32.35 in the all-around final, or something in between?
Mais oui, on se connaît bien. T'as même voulu te faire ma mère, hein? T'as commencé par ses seins, et puis du poumon à mon père, tu t'en souviens? Ça nous fera des vacances.
The gymnast who finished third at the World Championships for the club, Sofia Raffaeli of Italy, and who won the World Games title a few months before in Alabama. She is also the reigning European champion. Suffice to say, her track record with this apparatus is excellent, as is her work.
This was a very, very good routine, especially considering the problems that she had in the qualification round. There's no question that she is world class with the clubs.
When you can have problems in the qualification round and still finish fourth, that's indicative of what your maximum level truly is, and hers is huge. And it's actually part of elite sports that you cannot always win by being at your absolute finest. You can't be, even at a competition like this, perfect the whole way through. What you can do is still remain in a winning position when you're not quite at your maximum level. That's something she's demonstrated an ability to do. It's what all of the top gymnasts can do. They can get through those little bumps in the road.
And she's been very perseverant this week. She has come out, and every time she has done a routine, it has been like a new day for her. She doesn't look like she's been fazed by what has come before.
It's a superb mark of 33 for Sofia Raffaeli of Italy. She goes comfortably into the gold medal position. And that means that Zora Agamirova moves down to fourth place. So 31.35 is the number required to get onto the podium. We have 3 gymnasts left. Katarina Vedenjeva of Slovenia scored 31.25 in the all-around final, so just a tenth below the current bronze medal mark. She scored 30.2, much lower in qualification. Nonetheless, she's here, and she's a World Games bronze medalist. That was so well performed by Ekaterina Vedenyeva of Slovenia. Goodness, the sharpness of that display. One imagines from an execution standpoint, that is going to do very nicely indeed.
And she usually does well from an execution and from an artistry standpoint. She's a gymnast who is so consistent. She doesn't make too many errors, particularly in finals. She seems to understand very well the difference between a qualification and a final, and often gives a little something extra, you get the sense, in the final. This is really quality work. Of course, she is a trailblazer for Slovenia in terms of her results, but also just in terms of her presence on the international scene.
And the choice of orchestration by Helena Blagne, a Slovenian singer from Jesenice. And it's a really suitable piece of orchestration for a gymnast who, as the years have gone on, has actually moved away from the very classical work that we used to see her perform to. Lots of her routines a few years ago were to very stereotypically rhythmic gymnastics music, and she's rather reinvented herself. The outcome is that she is in second place. Ekaterina Vedenyeva, who has never won a European Championship medal, nor has her nation. Sofia Raffaeli, Ekaterina Vedenyeva and Victoria Onoprienko. Believe it or not, the world champion is not getting on this European podium. Now to Boriana Kalin. Second best in qualification, 31.15, but 32.9 yesterday to take the all-around European title. Oh my goodness me! What a piece of rhythmic gymnastics, what a piece of art. What a competition from Boriana Kalén. By the way, it may be time to pre-order your noise-cancelling headphones for when she performs that in Spain at the World Championships in a few months' time.
Oh, that was blazing. Everything was so sharp. She is always phenomenal with the pivots, but this time somehow the combination of the music and the choreography and the way that she executed them, well, there was something extra. Here she goes, passing in and out of the passe position. And look at her releve. She puts her heel down and the foot stays in the same place. The same thing, the fouette pivots with the leg at horizontal. It's important to keep the angle at 90 degrees.
This, from an artistry perspective, is nothing short of stunning.
It's sensational.
The last time that a gymnast from Bulgaria won the European Championship title with the clubs, Ronald Reagan was the President of the United States of America. 35 years.
And given how artistic her routines are, it might not surprise you to learn that she is quite interested in fine arts herself. She draws and she paints, and she hopes one day to organize an exhibition of her work in Sofia.
Very close, 32.45 for Boriana Kalén. She's in the silver medal position, and that means that we have Sofia Raffaeli, Boriana Kalén and Yekaterina Vedenyeva. Those are your top three. Can this gymnast make a remarkable case for themselves to be on the European podium? It's Panayota Litra of Greece. This is very much her signature apparatus. She only just made it into the club's final, but it was better, much better in the all-around. Panayota Litra and the clubs. It is a wonderful, harmonious relationship. She is so good with this apparatus. The gymnast who won the first ever Greek World Cup medal in Athens last year. And we're so used to seeing her now in a club's final at continental level. That's 2 years in a row.
We are. And when you consider that she got into this final having made a significant error in the qualification, it just tells you how good she is with this apparatus. This is a wonderful routine. It flows really well, and her wrists are extraordinary. She is always moving the clubs, always doing something, and yet always completely in control.
We have an inquiry for Boriana Kalain's club's score of 32.45, body difficulty inquiry. Once again, we are awaiting the outcome of a Boriana Kalain-based inquiry. How close is Panayota Litra going to get? She scored 29.85 in qualification, 30.85 in the all-around final. Certainly this one more like what we saw in the all-around competition than what we saw in the qualification phase.
There was one tiny trajectory error on a throw and catch, but when you take into account the overall routine that she performed, it was really good. That Athens World Cup last year was the first competition in Greece for 15 years. It announced her as a real contender at international level, not just domestically. Although certainly it made her something close to a household name in Greece. Boriana Kalain challenging the body difficulty of her score. And she was successful with her challenge in the ball final, albeit without actually altering the rankings. 33 is the leading score, that's Sofia Raffaelli. We have Ekaterina Vedenieva on 31.7. Just 500ths beyond Victoria Onoprienko. And if Ekaterina Vedenieva manages to win a medal, it will not only be her first European Championship honours, but the first ever for Slovenia. And it's a bright squad that Slovenia has brought here as well. The next generation coming through, very impressive.
Well, we have a song being played right now that should be renamed Beautiful Inquirer. How was work today, this gentleman's family will ask him. Oh, it was fine. Anything happen? Oh, nothing unusual. You sure? We were watching on TV. Oh, there was a giant monkey involved. Let's not talk about it. This is a very anxious moment for Panayota Litra, waiting and waiting and waiting for her score to come in. We have the inquiry for Boriana Calais still in progress. Just to remind you that her score, 32.45, is what's being challenged. And at the moment, the podium places are Rafaeli, Kalin and Vedenieva, 33, 32.45 and 31.7 respectively. And we have also to come the ribbon competition.
Inquiry submitted for Boriana Calais Club's routine has been accepted, and here is her new score, 32.650.
32.65, a small change, an increase of 0.2 to Boriana Calais' score. It doesn't change the rankings, it just shores up her position in second that little bit more. Still Rafaeli, then Calais, then Vedenieva with one score to come in. The best ever placement by a Greek individual gymnast in a European final was her own 7th place last year. Not anymore, she's beaten it. 31.1, Panayota Litra of Greece has got one place beyond where she finished a year ago in Tel Aviv.
Dostlar, yeniden flash topçularımızı davet edirik.
The classified results in the club's competition. The bronze medal to Yekaterina Vedenieva of Slovenia, her nation's first ever at the European Championships. Silver to Bulgaria's Boriana Calais, and the title, the second title of the day, won by Sofia Rafaeli of Italy. She has defended her European title from a year ago. Next it will be the ribbon final in just a short while.
Don't show up, don't come out, don't start caring about me now.
Let's have a look back at how the medals were won. Bronze to Yekaterina Vidinyeva of Slovenia. The silver medal won by Bulgaria's Bodiana Kalin. The gold medal and the title of European champion for the second year in a row to Italy's Sofia Raffaelli.
Don't show up, don't come out, don't start caring about me now. Walk away, you know how. Don't start caring about me now.
Teşekkür ederik.